this is Natasha Brazil with SoulByNat.com, and today I have a very special guest, Miss Audrey Croft. Let me give you a little history. Miss Audrey Croft is a personal financial advisor with Ameriprise Financial. Almost 12 years ago, I can't believe it's been that long, I used to work for Miss Croft. And she is one of those people, when she talks, take out a notepad and a pen and get ready to write. She has just so much wisdom. She shares a wealth of information.
You know, when we talk about goals, that is part of a major goal for people is buying homes, you know, at all ages, you know, even if they're moving out of town or out of state, is they want to buy a house when they get to the new place. You know, even if they already have a house, they're always looking at making an improvement. As the Bible said, do not despise humble beginnings. But at some point, people, you know, kids are growing out of the place and they got friends now coming over, and we need a little bit more space. And besides, you know, buying a home is looking at renovating that home. You know, because it can be in an ideal location and everything like that, and you like the house, but you need to redo some things in the house. And so saving again, you know, to buy a house, to make upgrades in your home are very, very important. So we help a whole lot of first-time home buyers, and they're always very, very, very surprised when, you know, you tell them that they can go look for a house, and they almost be in tears. It's like, Ms. Croft, are you kidding? I didn't expect that today. Yeah, I know, because it seemed like we're kind of strict. Because the discipline is to get you so that this day does come, and it oftentimes is way sooner than you ever had thought, because we've been working on it.
Now, for anyone who feels like, oh, this is so over my head, I don't understand, I'm not familiar, knowledge is power. Education is key. You have to start. What would you say to somebody that thinks, oh gosh, I'm not there? Like, I'm not there.
The challenge of not being there is a very passive state of mind. And money is very shy. It comes to those who command it.
Write that down.
And a lot of people, without them realizing it, they have a poverty mentality. It has nothing to do with the income, whether they make $18,000 a year, $180,000, or $1.8 million. If everything is coming in is going out in equal parts, it's a poverty mentality. It's a self-destructive, self-fulfilling prophecy. It's broke. And so, you know, the goal is to find out, because money is only a tool, what is the dream? What are you really trying to get at? Because if you don't have a purpose for the money, it's always going to take wings and fly away. And it's never there when you need it the most. Today, with so many people finding themselves with job transitions, the cheese just keep, you know, getting moved, is you have to have cash reserves. You know, money set aside for emergencies and opportunities. Everything is not a fire drill. But if you're out of work, it used to be 3 to 6 months of your normal expenses in cash reserve. Now it's like 12 months for many, depending on the type of work you do. And because people find themselves, you know, out of work longer than they had anticipated. And they have mortgage, they have rents, and, you know, and they have car notes, and, you know, you don't want to see everything, you know, be taken away. And you don't want to go have to live with somebody else, even mom and them, because you need to figure it out. And so proactively you can decide. And so, you know, we look at 4 quadrants. We look at cash, which is king, and liabilities. You know, you always, always, always want to keep your liabilities down, because you don't want to overburden yourself with too much debt. Every other marriage ends in divorce, and 70% is over money issues. And it's not that the couples don't have the money, it's their values on money are very different. One want to save, one want to spend, you know, and on and on and on. And for the baby boomers, 3 out of 4 marriages and in divorce over student loans. Oh, wow, student loans, because they can't buy the house. Because their loan to value is just all out of whack. And so they get frustrated with each other because they didn't realize when I married you that I can't go nowhere. And so we try to come in and save and talk about that, and the goal is to pay down the debt.
Okay.
You know, I did a workshop at UGA with the CPA senior class last month, and so one of the questions the student asked is, should I pay my student debt while I'm in school? Let's look at it, because my goal is always get people to do the math, do the math, do the math. And so let's say you had $10,000 in a student loan. Well, if you're paying 6% interest on that, what is that? And they'd be like, I said, what did we talk about when we got started? Is pull out your smartphones and go to your calculators, and let's do $10,000 times 6%.
Okay.
And so they come up with $600. Okay. And so if you divide that into 12 months, that comes to $50.
Okay.
So do you think that you should pay the interest while you're going to school? And so the answer was yes from every student.
Okay.
Because it's the interest that's accumulative, that's piling up, that's killing you. Not the principal, it's the interest. The rule of 78 that's working against you versus the rule of 72. And so when you raised the hand and said how many of you have a job, almost every single student have a job, and so they can afford $50 a month, pay the interest on the student loan.
Wow.
People don't lack capability, only knowledge. And so with a financial advisor, it gives you the guide, the mentoring to the knowledge, so you can take the emotion out of it and you can make decisions in your own best interests. And so you look at cash, you look at liabilities, then you want to look at risk management. You know, people need to have, you know, proper insurances, you know, from homeowners to disability to life insurance to umbrella insurance and things like they've just not heard of. And, you know, even those that have been in a home, they've been in a home a long time ago. And when they first brought it, the home was this price and the property insurance was this amount. Well, they never increased it as the house increased in value. And then something happened to the house and they limited in how much they're going to receive because they never increased the appreciation and paid more. And so the financial advisor is going to tell you all of that. Wow. It's going to look at all of that. You know, disability income protection, your check insurance. Without a paycheck, everything goes away. The house goes away. The spouse goes away. The kids even want to go away. Ain't no money up in here. So you got to have check insurance. That's what disability income is check insurance. We have insurance on a car and a house and on our life, but we don't have no insurance on the check. And when the check is gone, everybody out.
Right.
They're going to leave you. And then...
Oh, my goodness.
And so those two are above the line, cash, you know, liabilities and risk management. And so before we do anything else, we need to make sure we address that. And then we look at investments, you know.
Okay.
And so when we look at investments, we look at, you know, what is your risk tolerance? You know, how much are you comfortable with in terms of what percentage you can get out. And so when people say, well, how much do your IRAs pay? Well, an IRA is an individual retirement account, which is like a box that you put the investment is in. The investment is based on your asset allocation. Are you conservative? Are you moderately conservative? Are you moderate? Are you moderately aggressive? Are you aggressive? And so that depends on whether you're going to get 4% or 8% as a floor on your money.
Okay.
You know, moderate, I mean, you got 50% equities, 50% fixed or bonds, right? And so, you know, on average, you're going to get about a 6% floor rate of return. And so everybody's asset allocation is different because they're comfortable with different. You know, it's not one size fit all. Somebody that's aggressive, they'll have almost no fixed or bonds in theirs, all equities. Somebody that's conservative, they have no equities, they have all bonds.
Okay. Okay.
And so it depends. And so, you know, with a financial advisor, you know, we have, you know, due diligence and questionnaires to help you determine what your risk tolerance is so that, you know, you can sleep comfortably at night. And then taxes,
Mm-hmm.
you know, last but not least is we don't give tax advice, but we do tax strategies. And it's not how much you make, it's how much you get to keep. And that all have to do with taxes. So
Mm-hmm.
you're not like a ostrich with your head in the sand because the other end is exposed.
Mm-hmm.
And so on taxes, you got tax diversification as well. You know, so you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. That means you don't want to have it all in taxable. You don't want to have it all in tax deferred, and you don't want to have it all in tax free.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have some in each one. And so then, you know, working together, we determine based on the goals and when you're going to need the money at the station, you know, the date. And then we can determine how much should be in what bucket. And that's 3 buckets, you know. The now bucket of money is things that need to be addressed possibly now.
Mm-hmm.
And for some people, maybe they need a new car right now. They know this one is getting ready to go, either age or mechanics,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or a child is getting ready to need tuition payment again.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, you have a trip that you're going to have to make because of the illness in a family member and you're going to have to travel. And so you have a now bucket, or the roof, you know, or the boiler needs to be replaced. So that's your now bucket. And then you have your short-term bucket. And so your short-term are things that's probably going to take place within the next 4 years.
Okay.
And so those we don't want to put in anything that's in equity assets because, you know, gyrations of the market and the principal may be less than what you put in at the time that the train reaches the station, and you're not going to be happy. And so a licensed advisor is not going to let that happen to you. That's why we need to know the purpose of the money. We don't just go and put money. We need to know, what is this money allocated for? It's always important in the question, what is the purpose of the money? Mm-hmm. And then the long-term bucket is, you know, that certainly is going to be things like retirement. That certainly is going to be probably things like the next car, you know, at some point, mm-hmm. and so that you can buy it cash and then you never have to pay interest. And so when clients come to us, they may be financing their first cars, but the rest of the cars, they have the cash to just pay it off
and buy it
and never pay interest.
Wow. So you shared more than I could have even thought, you know, to bring up or question. But one thing that came to mind is there are a lot of apps and you'll see advertisements for do-it-yourself investment and doing this. That's too much. All that, like, you have done this for years and years and you have the knowledge. Like, that's like when somebody goes to like sell their home themselves or call one of these companies and they leave all this money on the table. Like, there's too much at risk for them to just, you know, just handle it so haphazardly. So I appreciate
it is
everything
because,
you shared.
You know, you have robotics, but you have no relationship, so you have nobody to, you know, interject when, you know, based on your personal story. I mean, you're not going to, as you're saying, have a robotic somebody treat your medical condition.
Exactly.
I don't think so. And one of the largest investments people make is not in their home, is with their financial advisor. Your financial advisor is holding all the money for you and for your family in the event of a premature death of the head of household or whatever, is knowing that this person is going to be reachable for the family to walk them through what their next steps can be and comfort them. Okay. You know, and not have anybody around take advantage of them in any kind of way, because the promise was to be there for your family, not just you, because if something happened to you, then the money is going to, by transfer, go to your loved ones. And so we want to make sure that they're going to be okay too. That's the promise that we make to our clients.
That's wonderful. So like I tell people, if you're on the fence about buying a house and you're like, take the first step. So with the same thing when it comes to your finances, take the first step and contact Ms. Croft. How do they reach you?
At Ameriprise, you know, I can be reached as a financial advisor. Anyone that'd like to talk further at 770-518-8146. I'm located in Roswell, Georgia, and come out and see us. And we love to talk to you, give you a complimentary consultation. That won't cost you nothing. You can leave your checkbook and your credit card at home. And we just talk and see where, you at, what's going well, what's not perfect yet, what's keeping you up late at night, where you like to be in the near future and down the road.
If you found this video value, any piece of nugget that you took away from this video, please go ahead and hit that like. Please go ahead and subscribe. I want to give you value so that you can improve your life. I will also have Ms. Croft's contact information in the description box. Be blessed, be prosperous, be well. And one thing, if you've ever seen me send an email and I have a positive, peaceful, and productive day, I got it from her. All those years ago. So I'm just so thankful for you. I'm thankful for you for watching, and you have a wonderful, blessed day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I know you found value in that. I'm so appreciative. And I just thought about it. You just happened to contact me out of the blue.
I did.
So
it's not out of the blue. It's always on purpose. God is always on purpose.
You are so. And that's what I was sitting here thinking when you were talking. 12 years ago. Wow. And then yes. So
because I've never forgotten you. I love you, Natasha, and so do the Lord. You're beautiful. Your mind is beautiful. Your thoughtfulness and your commitment to others is just priceless. You are very gifted. You're young, gifted, and black. Just go for it.
Oh my gosh! Do you see why?
Spread your wings.
Speaking of that, Miss Croft, you've had this goal for a while now. How many books? Please share your goal with books, because she's an avid reader. As you can tell, all this knowledge she obviously pours into herself, and it comes out.
Well, my personal goal have been to read 40,000 books. I'm an avid reader. I have a reading addiction. I had to actually go to therapy to at least ask about it. I mean, is this normal? And so where I see anything in print, I have to read it. I mean, what is it saying? On my website at Ameriprise, compliance allowed my library to be there because it is a part of me. And so you can actually see my library, but a large amount of my money go in books every year. I like to read. I have the courage to dissent. I'm not a low information person, and I like to feed others information. I believe that every child ought to have a library at home. And so I'm always trying to help people develop libraries. We have a library here, for children, for parents to get all kind of names of books and teach them, to read, because readers are leaders and reading reward our successes.
Yes. So we're going to end on that note.